Charlie Kirk, bro. I've never been happier.
Never believe the reason I'm smiling. And it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Nothing to do with Charlie Kirk.
I would say pour one out for Kirky boy, but I don't waste good beer on little bitches.
I haven't posted on TikTok in a long time, but I'm gonna now because rest in peace, Bozo!
Charlie Kirk just got put down like a fucking dog in Utah, and I could not be happier. Praise fucking be.
I do not, and I will not, ever feel bad when bad people get what the fuck they deserve.
Charlie Kirk got shot? That's awful. That's so sad. Hope he recovers well.
I just heard that someone shot Charlie Kirk? Dang it. Ah, shucks. Thoughts and prayers.
So Charlie Kirk was just murdered. And while I typically stay out of these things, I don't ever take a stance of being liberal or conservative or even moderate. I consider myself to be a person who's on the side of humanity. And I'm aware that most of humanity right now is asleep. But this is just a quick polarity check. I want you to search yourself right now. If you are being filled with anything other than sympathy or a broken heart for this man and his family, then you are very much in the negative polarity. And that's not to judge you, that's not to condemn you in any way, but it's an invitation to look within yourself right now. Oftentimes we hear that someone has a demon or someone's demon possessed. I have been baffled by the comments of people happy, celebrating the death of this 31-year-old man who is speaking his opinion, sharing what he believes in his heart is right. And whether you agree with him or not, if there's any part of you that feels happy that this man died and that his 2 children are now left without a father, then I want to invite you to look within yourself. You are in the energy of separation, my friend. And if you are in the energy of separation, I want you to look at other areas of your life. What are your relationships like? What are your finances like? Do you feel a sense of peace? Chances are that the answer is a no. And this is why. We have to look within ourselves and really examine how we respond to events like this. Another thing is the fact that most of us are very desensitized. I'm getting to a point now in my life where I try to avoid even violent movies or TV shows. I used to play a lot of video games growing up, Call of Duty, all these things. When you do inner work, you start to develop a sensitivity to things like violence because you begin to understand that all life is sacred, especially the life of another human being who is conscious, who has consciousness dwelling within them. So if you are a liberal or a conservative or a moderate even, I would encourage you to start to disidentify with what that is. Begin to release that and be open-handed with it. Begin to examine the resentment, the hatred, and devilry that resides in your own heart. One should never be happy when another human being dies. And I know that that is even a very polarizing statement, but I'll say it again, that life is sacred. That doesn't mean that people shouldn't be held accountable for their actions and the things that they say, but this man was murdered in cold blood. And I've just been really taken back by a lot of people's responses, particularly on the liberal side, where these people are celebrating the fact that this man died. And this is the side that calls themselves tolerant. Yet this man who was murdered for having certain opinions, they're celebrating that. And that is the epitome of non-tolerance. Now, this goes without saying, but the powers that be have the most power whenever there's the most division. So an event like this, I don't think it's about liberal versus conservative. I believe that a rock was thrown in the water to cause these ripples and to cause more division. The first thing that the egoic mind wants to do is it wants to take a side. But I will say, again, the darkest polarity possible in these instances is when you're celebrating the death of another person. He wasn't a tyrant. He wasn't going around torturing people. He was simply debating people and stating his opinion. And if there is any kind of glee in your heart at the death of this person, then you really need to check yourself. If you consider yourself a student of spirituality on any level, but you don't have the level of embodiment to have compassion for this man and his family, and the fact that his 2 children are going to grow up now without a father, then you've got a lot of work to do. And again, this isn't me judging you, because that same kind of darkness, I had to overcome it within myself. There was a point earlier in my life where I was more desensitized to things like this. If someone that I considered not good or not on my side died, I would maybe feel indifferent. I wasn't able to put myself in their position, in the position of their family, because I had lack of embodiment. I was living from the energy of separation. And nothing will self-improve your life better than getting out of the energy of separation and into the energy of oneness and understanding that I am you and you are me. This has been the theme throughout all religions, all spiritual teachings for thousands of years, and it's still true today. The people who are in the energy of separation live in a perpetual state of suffering. There are people from my past who are very judgmental, people that I know that are probably celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk right now. But when I look at the fruit of their life, it's misery. They themselves are living in their own personal hell because of how they project out into the world. So your job right now isn't to double down on whatever your stance might be politically, but to get on the side of humanity as a whole. I know there's big wars going on overseas as well, and that also breaks my heart, and I've felt a lot of grief over that. But something like this, seeing the fact that just my neighbor down the road is laughing and giddy that somebody was just murdered, humanity's got a lot of work to do. And the only thing that you can do is work on yourself and cultivate your own inner awareness. So this is an invitation. Events like this are an invitation to look at yourself, to examine the devil inside of you. If you're celebrating death, if you're celebrating the fact that this family is now broken, then that's where your work lies right now. And here's an even bigger challenge. Those people who are celebrating this event right now, the biggest challenge is to forgive them. And that doesn't mean to approve of their behavior, but to forgive them, to understand that they are living in ignorance. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Because that's the other trap. Whenever you become aware of the state of the level of darkness that some of humanity is living in, the instinct is to want to hate them. It's to want to now make them the enemy, which, funny enough, perpetuates more separation. So you can feel angry, you can feel grief over the state of humanity, but the challenge is also to forgive them, for they know not what they do. So I don't know who needed to hear this today. I hope this speaks to you. For those of you who feel like you have a broken heart of the state of humanity right now, just know that you're not alone. Keep working on yourself. Keep going within. Keep meditating. Keep seeking God, the divine, the universe, and take care of your own metaphorical house. That's all I got for you today. You are loved, you matter, and you've barely scratched the surface of what you're capable of. I'll talk to you soon.